Alright, let's watch it. Investigating MrBeast. 5 million views in 3 days! Oh my god, dude. That's actually insane. 6 million views almost. Alright, I'm sitting up. Good posture. Chat? I'm ready. Alright, he responded.
I investigated MrBeast, who was recently accused of making $23 million with insider trading and scams. I wanted to know the full story, so I reached out to everyone, from researchers to crypto projects, even to MrBeast himself. And let me say, the story is more complicated than you think. I want to be clear.
Yeah, I bet when you have that much money, you gotta hide it well.
MrBeast did, what his team did, is shady. But what we care about is, did he cross that bright red line from shady to illegal scam? And contrary to what Twitter says, I don't think that's an easy answer. Instead, I think the answer will depend on you. If you love MrBeast, there will be an explanation at every turn and a scapegoat. But if you hate MrBeast, what I'm about to show you will seem unethical and like a clear abuse of fame for money.
There are very few people who get really, really famous and don't abuse their position of power. Like, even YouTubers, I think there's only like a handful of YouTubers that I can name off the top of my head that didn't devolve into like doing some dumb shit. Yeah.
Already, this story is difficult,
Yeah, like
but I want to make you aware
PewDiePie.
of 2 more things which matter. First, I have gone to MrBeast's team to try to fact check this story extensively, and they declined to fact check or comment on my many questions. Instead,
Of course, this is really serious. Of course.
they gave me a statement, which we will get to. Secondly, I have a bit of history with MrBeast. I interviewed and spoke positively about him in the past, but also his new co-founder is suing me, and his other
Wait, did we know about this chat? He's getting sued by, what's his name, KSI?
other co-founder threatened to sue me. So you can make of that what
Jake Paul is, or Logan Paul is suing him and KSI is threatening. Yeah. Okay, I remember now. Sorry, it's been a while.
you will. As always, I just want to let you know where I'm coming from, and I've tried to get all sides of the story. We're going to start with the major allegations against MrBeast and build on those. They come from 2 sources. Firstly, an investigation by Soma XBT, which claims MrBeast made $10 million by backing low-cap crypto tokens, which are down 90%. And the second investigation comes from a group.
Yes, the pump and dump scheme. Again, I don't know why people like this need more money to like scam out of people when you can just live your life on like you can live so comfortably on like $1 million. It's insane to me that these people want to pump and dump and fuck people over and then get into controversies and get shitted on. I just don't get it.
Group of 5 people who investigated
Avarice,
MrBeast
you think so?
and found $23 million in profits from, quote, scams, shady deals, and his network. Now, there are a lot of crypto projects they go over, and I want to be clear. Some of these allegations I agree are bad. Others I think are actually worse than have been reported, and still other allegations I simply disagree with them on. So we're going to start with what I don't agree with. According to the report, Polychain Monsters, or PMON, is a project which KSI promoted heavily. MrBeast did not. But MrBeast did get in the pre-sale and make a lot of money, and thus,
again, they are already business partners. I am not even remotely surprised. Where there's smoke, there's fire. They already have a bunch of products that they want to do together and have done together. It's like, it's so obvious. Like, yeah, MrBeast isn't going to directly promote the thing, but they're still associates.
the conclusion is made, it's highly likely MrBeast made an investment from that insider information of KSI's promotional deal. But there's simply no evidence provided of this. I have the same thoughts about JigStack, another coin which KSI promoted.
Sounds like a slur.
And the conclusion is, though MrBeast did not officially follow JigStack, in his network, KSI was involved in promoting Jigstack. From this information, MrBeast invested and made a large return. Here again, there isn't concrete proof. Now, I asked the team who wrote this piece, and the lead author, Casper Vandeluk, told me, quote, having known MrBeast's having a very strong connection with KSI, it's basically highly probable he was vested as a result of KSI. No concrete evidence, just going off probability.
Well, it's the same thing as being related to like a murderer, or, you know, the police finding out that someone in your family has done a crime. They have to investigate you. You might even be innocent, but they still have to do the due diligence to prove to it. Like, prove that you are involved. What proof do you need? Like, actual concrete proof. Your brother robbed a bank. Are you guilty? No, but they're still going to investigate you because you might be involved. Like, you're innocent until you get proven guilty, but at the same time, you are associated with them directly. Yeah.
But I'm going to say
obvious.
I don't agree with that, and I'm going to toss those probabilities aside. I think they reach too far. Instead, I'm going to stick with what we can prove happened. Luckily, the biggest claims in this report, the biggest moneymakers, are much better supported by evidence. Starting with Super. This is the project MrBeast is alleged to have made the most amount of money on, over $10 million based on a pre-sale of $100,000. As for evidence, we have leaked screenshots showing MrBeast telling Super's founder that he can do $100K. Then we have a wallet that both investigations trace to...
I mean, that is a really grainy screenshot, but sure. That is... I can barely read that, so we can do the 100K thing? Yeah, I can barely make that out. Proving this answer would be a paper trail? Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know, Discord messages, text messages, Twitter DMs, like anything. Anything.
100K. Then we have a wallet that both investigations trace to MrBeast, sending 100K to the presale wallet. And then we have the same wallet.
This is what I mean. Yeah, like Bitcoin wallets and interactions.
Getting millions of these super tokens in a period of unlocks, which were almost all sold aggressively. Now, why is this bad? Well, MrBeast is obviously hugely influential, and he publicly associated himself with the project twice. Once on March 3rd, 2021, he responded to a tweet with eyeball emojis.
Oh my god, I don't know what I hate when I see influencers like posting about Bitcoins. It awakens such an annoyance in me. Like, yeah, we all know what you're doing. You're such a loser. You just want to make a quick buck.
And then he interacted a second time on May 12th, 2021. This is much worse. The founder, Elio Trades, had tweeted, "There's a gym sitting there on the market at eye-watering prices set to explode during the DeFi Summer 2.0. MrBeast's response, Super? But what he doesn't say is that he'd already purchased a huge stake in Super at this point, and on the day that he's tweeting, he was selling tokens, allegedly. Not only
it's insider trading, but with coins, man.
Only that, he had been selling tokens and continued to sell tokens. In the 72 hours after the May 12th tweet, MrBeast sold about $200,000 worth of these tokens. And remember the context. He's responding to the founder of the coin discussing a gym at eye-watering prices that's going to explode during the summer. And MrBeast's response is the coin he's selling. So publicly, it's signaling, hey, Super is this undervalued coin, and privately, MrBeast allegedly sold. Now, I ran these wallets by MrBeast, as well as the accusation, but I didn't get a reply. Instead, I got a heavily lawyered statement from a spokesman, who I'm going to warn you is about to complicate things. Quote, "These investments were made and managed in consultation with industry experts to ensure full compliance with all appropriate rules and regulations."
Of course it's properly regulated. Nobody said it was illegal. It's just that insider trading is so... That's why pump and dumps exist, because the government doesn't regulate them. I hate that. Yeah, lawyers speak to... Actually, everything we did is legal. Actually, we did several investments. Look, we lost $10,000 in this other coin, so actually... Like, I hate that. I hate that. Actually, I spent like $2,000 on Doggy Coin and we lost all that, so that means that we're innocent, guys.
The wallet
makes
is
sense.
not owned or managed by Jimmy, but rather a fund led by respected and sophisticated managers. The fund closely
That Jimmy pays or gives them money. Yeah, you're
evaluated
right.
and scrutinized hundreds and hundreds of opportunities, which resulted in several investments. Some have been more successful, others less, and others still works in progress. The fund's investment strategies apply the same rigorous standards as many other experienced investors in the field.
So if I made a wallet and it was open to use for all of my mods, and then I made an investment like this and did a pump and dump, technically, if it's owned by the mods, it's not my fault. Blame the mods! That's right!
Now, I have a lot of questions, but the big thing is Jimmy denies doing any of the trading or managing the trading and blames it on a fund. So I asked some obvious follow-up questions. What is the name of this fund? Who are the industry experts? And what rules and regulations were followed that allowed you to tweet about a coin while your fund is selling? I didn't get a response. It's worth mentioning the spokesman is Matthew Hiltzik, a well-known crisis management consultant. Thankfully, online, there still are a number of clues we can follow to try to find the right person for this fund. The reason most people link MrBeast to this wallet we
Oh my god, of course. I bought this one, smiley face. Yeah, time to make smuggle on NFTs, chat, you're right. Yeah, smuggle on coins, totally not a pump and dump scheme.
been tracking is mostly based on a tweet by MrBeast saying he bought a specific crypto punk, which belonged to an account which goes by Wu-Tang Clan. People assumed, understandably, that this was MrBeast's wallet. But what is lesser known is that another account has also tweeted about CryptoPunks and has the same ties back to Wu-Tang Clan. A guy named Jason Williams. He's followed by MrBeast on Twitter, and he's the author of a book on Bitcoin, so he's a crypto guy. And I found Jason.
The public perception of like any cryptocurrency, even Bitcoin, is so warped. You can't take anyone seriously who shills this hard for crypto. I'm sorry. I know there's like merit and like actual pros to like digital currency. I know, but there are so many cons. And the public perception is so bad.
Tweeting about another CryptoPunk saying, I hope you enjoy your new home, sold for 100 ETH. That sale he's talking about links back to the same address MrBeast does, Wu-Tang Clan. On YouTube, there's even more clues. Jason can be seen surfing wearing a Wu-Tang Clan shirt, and his brand name, Going Parabolic, happens to be owned by the same MrBeast wallet, goingparabolic.eth. So there's very good evidence that Jason Williams was also involved in this same wallet, which means that it might be true that MrBeast wasn't the guy buying or selling, which would be good for MrBeast and bad for these investigations. But just when I thought MrBeast might have no say in what this wallet did, I saw this podcast with Logan Paul, where Jimmy discusses CryptoPunks once again and things get complicated. Well, this clip is very interesting because Jimmy said he made the decision to get CryptoPunks based on a call with Gary Vee. But those punks are owned by the wallet we just said was controlled by Jason. So it appears sometimes MrBeast is telling Jason what to buy for this fund. MrBeast then later talks about selling these CryptoPunks and rolling the money into a new project. And once again, it sounds like he's in charge.
I despise like extremely rich people. Like, yeah, let's do another Ponzi scheme after the first one. That one worked out really well. Let's do it again. And then they go on a podcast and fucking brag about it. What's a fugazi? It's like a Ponzi scheme. It just basically means like fake money, and it's complicated. Hold on, let me look up the actual fucking definition. Fugazi meaning in Italian. It means something is fake or damaged beyond repair, but in the sense of like the context that we're talking about, fugazi is like fake money or like fake assets that aren't like tangible, because he says, oh, I have like $200,000 in this thing. It's not real. Like, it doesn't mean anything.
No, but last time I made money, so sure.
I'll be honest, these clips to me make
Yeah, like
it
NFTs
difficult
and
to
stuff.
assume MrBeast had no idea what's going on. He talks about CryptoPunks and VFriends like personal investments. And on Twitter, he says that not only he bought CryptoPunks, he also tweets about loading up on VFriends. But again, I have to say, it is also abundantly clear Jason Williams was involved. He says, "Hey Gary, thanks for the VFriends gift code. It was a..."
And then they just talk about it so blatantly. Like, if you're going to do this, why would you post about it publicly? It's only been 3 years and it's already biting them in the ass.
Gift from Gary to MrBeast. I'm very thankful for it. He didn't have to send anything. So once again, Jason Williams appears to be involved and have something to do with the trading or management of MrBeast's crypto wallet. But
That's crazy.
we know MrBeast made some of the decisions. So of course, I asked MrBeast to explain himself if he had any say over the trading. But once again, there's no response. So now I want to turn back to Super. We know from leaked DMs that MrBeast and not Jason set up this presale, and we know that MrBeast made the tweet. So now we have to guess. Here's what we know. We know MrBeast set up the presale according to leaked screenshots. We know MrBeast made the tweet, but we don't know whether it was Jason doing the trading of Super, or if he was doing the trading, did MrBeast know about it? Did Jason know about the tweet? These are the questions that ultimately matter, and yet...
Again, he's being extremely cryptic because MrBeast could absolutely sue the fuck out of him. I'm just gonna say, read between the lines, and he is saying things specifically in a very specific manner so that he can't get sued for defamation and all that shit. He can't outright say, like, yeah, this looks really bad. Like, MrBeast is caught, and this is... He's essentially, like, it's alleged. He's being very careful. That's why I know some people probably get really annoyed, and they're like, oh, why does this guy just say outright that MrBeast is a bad person? It's like, you literally can't. MrBeast will sue the ever-living shit out of him. So, again, just read between the lines.
Yes, I reached out to Jason Williams for a comment. He didn't reply. I did, however, get a hold of Elio Trades, who is the founder of Super, and he insisted that MrBeast's tweet was not a part of a deal for promotion. But you should know, he also mentions how upset he was with how presale investors sold their tokens, saying most of them sold, including MrBeast. So those are the facts. MrBeast gets involved in a presale.
I was depressed. I sunk into a pretty deep depression. If I was involved and I lost a bunch of money, I'd be fucking depressed too.
For some reason, tweets at this project twice. One time on the day his fund is selling tokens, where he seems to imply that they're undervalued. In total, he's alleged to have made $11 million with this deal, according to the report. So yeah, that's really bad. Now we're going to turn to another allegation, which is about EARN, or Ethernity chain. There are some facts which are the same. There are others that are different. For example, instead of MrBeast setting up the deal directly, the team at EARN claims they never spoke to MrBeast. Quote, "We were speaking to his fund manager. And when I asked about these wallets selling allegedly over $4 million in tokens, they say, quote, MrBeast's fund was an early investor in our presale. He had the same unlock schedule as everyone else. Were we happy with the way he sold? Definitely not. But legally, there was nothing we could have done."
Yeah, again, it's all about legality. It's going to be really hard to pin MrBeast, like, pump and dumping like this, because the law says it's fine. You'd have to really find, like, special ways to, like, get them. Again, I'm not a lawyer, and I don't know how, like, crypto exactly works, but I'm not convinced they're going to really fucking, like, pin anything on him.
And then, just like with Super, they claim they didn't ask for a promotion of the project, but that MrBeast decided to comment once himself anyways. On March 9th, 2021, MrBeast...
again, this one will be hype. Again, every single thing you type online, especially like on social media, like Twitter, for example, people notice that shit, and people, like stupid people do. They get excited. They're like, oh shit, MrBeast, he's like backing this, and something about Muhammad Ali, the ERM chain. Oh shit, all poggers, hype. Like, people buy into it. You might not. You, chatter, you. I'm talking to you. The person that's probably watching the fucking video and, like, fucking typing shit. You're probably not stupid enough to do it. But the people, like, there's so many people that watch MrBeast. They will. And that's enough for him to make so much money. Just to fleece some fucking ding-dongs. Yeah, talking to you. Yes, that's right. You.
Responds to Ethernity chain saying this one will be hype. It's worth noting, once again, about 24 hours before saying this fund wallet purchased over $100,000 of earn tokens in addition to the presale. Now, what is different about Super is that MrBeast's name was put publicly on the Ethernity chain website. On their investors and partners page, you might be asking, well, which is it? Is he an investor or a partner? And the answer is both. He got...
I was literally about to say probably both. An investor and a purchaser. Because only 12-year-olds watch it. 12-year-olds don't have money to buy or even the know-how to buy tokens. Like, okay, let's be realistic, chat. A sucker is born every minute. Don't, like, the faster you understand how stupid people are, you might say, oh, Alana, I'm stupid. I watch VTubers. It's like, you're probably still smarter than most people that consume content, especially MrBeast. Kids don't have money. This is like adults, okay?
Into the presale, and the Earn team also claims that he partnered with them for an NFT drop. Supposedly, it was a charity drop and a normal NFT drop. Now, the charity drop specifically did happen in association with one of MrBeast's projects, Team Seas, saying, quote, all proceeds will go towards cleaning up the seas around the world. This was early November 2021. Then the official Team Seas account posts it on November 3rd, 2021, quote, what an awesome crypto collaboration in support of the team. Then the CEO of Ethernity Chain, Nick Rose, confirms in Telegram that the drop is supported by MrBeast, saying, Earn and ETH tokens will be accepted for the charity auction, which was slated to last 2 months. Now, the reason I'm sharing all of this is because 1 month into this 2-month charity auction on November 30th, 2021, the Rocket Fund or Beast Fund or whatever you want to call it starts selling huge amounts of this Earn token. Allegedly, they sold over $2 million, while the charity itself was still going on. Now, I know that sounds horrible. It looks horrible. It is horrible. Although I have to tell you, personally, I don't think this was a master plan to pump a coin with a charity auction. If it was the plan, it was a bad one because the NFT auction was ultimately a flop. But do I also think it doesn't matter because
wait, how does a charity auction flop when MrBeast sold $2 million? Am I not connecting the dots here? I don't understand. How do you charity a NFT or 2 million was separate? I don't follow.
Regardless of your intention, selling tokens within a month of your 2-month charity auction is wrong, stupid, and unethical? Yes, I think that as well. Because in case you forgot, MrBeast is the charity guy whose name is on the website. It isn't a fund. It isn't a crypto rocket fund. It's MrBeast's branding. I even asked.
That is true. He's always been like, oh, I cured 1 million people of blindness. I did this. I gave people dogs. I helped doggos. We even watched a video. I'm pretty sure it was MrBeast taking care of a bunch of dogs that didn't like. They basically took them away from those shelters that were like kill shelters, I think, right? Where they put the animals down and find them like actual good homes. Yeah, it was a dog that weren't they like bad cases of dogs or something? I don't remember. Maybe I'm misremembering and I watched another video, but I think it was like just an adoption thing. Like he's known for having like a quote unquote good brand, so all this bad shit coming out is not great.
The Earn team about this, saying, quote, why did y'all list MrBeast instead of Rocket Fund in your partners' investors? Was that discussed? They say, quote, we listed him, MrBeast, as a partner and, quote, yes, they accepted that. So according to the Earn team, MrBeast knew or should have known that his name was on the line for this investment and partnership. And yet, this fund, his fund, whatever you want to call it, sold tokens 1 month after starting a 2-month NFT auction for charity.
But again, it's so discreet and underground. Like, I didn't know this about MrBeast at all. I don't think anybody really did until this point. Coffeezilla did some fucking digging. This is from what, 3-4 years ago when he wasn't even like extremely popular. I think he hit his peak around about a year or two ago, actually. This happened before he really like extremely blew up, you know?
To be fair again though, it's hard to oversell how bad this NFT auction did. I have found only one NFT that appears to have sold here, but the bids were made in the Earn token, which the fund was selling, and the actual sale of the NFT didn't happen until after the fund sold in November 30th. The transfer happened in December 23rd.
Right.
So of course, I went to MrBeast directly to answer this and see if there was some more context they could provide. There was no response other than the statement we've already read from MrBeast that he did not control the trading. Although again, that isn't a really satisfying answer because we've established MrBeast would sometimes direct what to buy and sell to this fund, like CryptoPunks. Personally, like I said, I don't think this was a pre-planned scheme, but regardless of intentions, if you're the charity guy, you support a charity, it flops while your fund makes millions of dollars in profits because it's selling the same Earn token people could bid on the charity with, that just is awful. And you should.
But MrBeast has to make a lot of money for all the videos that he does. He spends so much money making those videos, Chad. He's gotta make a little bit of money. Gosh, he runs a company. He sells chocolate that's really bad. Like, I don't know. I think people are giving him too much slack, too much shit. Not enough slack.
Feel awful about it. Look, now I want to move on from that to talking about our final token, XCAD. This is a token you may remember from our investigation into MrBeast's business partner, KSI. But unlike KSI, MrBeast was not promoting it a lot on Twitter. In fact, the only reason we know MrBeast was in the presale is that there were several articles about it bragging about that fact. Once again, MrBeast's name was used to promote this instead of the fund itself. And internally to investors, I have to say, this built up a lot of excitement, not just because MrBeast is a huge name, but because XCAD had what's called creator tokens. So the
Mr. Indian Hacker, Kandeshi Movies. There's a bunch of people actually, not just Indian names. Orkun Isit Mak, Nico Omila, Enes Batur, Renato Garcia. Wow. Wait, are these like sub numbers?
idea to some investors is that, well, if they're investing MrBeast and KSI, what if they were ever to launch creator tokens? That would be massive. And I bring this up because some people might ask, like, what do these affiliations, how do they impact people buying these projects? And the answer from what I've seen is they actually do impact it quite a lot because people...
No shit, because people really love the icons. That's why there's still people who defend KSI even though he made a shitty song. Yeah, they actually unironically will ride or die with their, like, you know, favorite content creator.
People are anticipating like further involvement, and also the idea is like they must not be investing unless they're long-term holders. You can see this in the Telegram chat. It became so common that in the XCAD community, one of the admins says, "Here we go again," another community member asking if there's any possibility of a MrBeast KSI token. And meanwhile, by the way, as that's happening, as the investors are hoping for these creator tokens and that they're imminent, behind the scenes, something entirely different had been happening. Like with Super and Earn, MrBeast's fund sold a lot of their XCAD early in 2021, rather than holding their tokens. And this was surprising to even the founder of XCAD himself.
Wait, why did MrBeast sell all his tokens? I thought we were gonna hold them. Yeah, I don't know. If the founder of the coin itself feels slighted. I think they're starting to see a pattern, huh?
Oliver Bell, who said they told him they were going to do the opposite. He tells me, quote, "Hey, so MrBeast reached out to me during our pre-sale raise. A group was set up with his team, and we had a call with his team, and they said they liked the concept. There was no strings attached to the investment. They did, however, want a lot bigger ticket than what I offered them, which I'm glad I did not fulfill.
Ooh.
We discussed not just flipping this token, as this can damage projects if people have decent sized tickets. It was my understanding we were aligned on this."
But you didn't have it in writing, and it's not against the law. This way you don't fucking do this shit. It's so bad. Because, again, they agreed, or he's saying that they agreed, and now they're just stuck with this, like, worthless coin that they pump and dump. And again, the damage this does is immense. When people see a token go from, it's going really high, and then it drops down overnight, people start losing faith instantly. It's like the stock market. People start panicking.
However, after listening to which XCAD performed well, there was heavy dumping from a wallet linked to MrBeast's team. I got in contact with them immediately and asked them why they were selling like this. Now, Oliver later claims this...
Wait, what did he say at the end there?
Oliver later claimed immediately and asked...
They told me they were not selling, they were raising ETH. Oh, Ethereum.
...them why they were selling like this. Now, Oliver later claims this discussion about flipping tokens and them being aligned about the fact they're not going to flip these tokens so quickly was with Jason. And apparently, Oliver was so upset about what happened, he DM'd Jimmy directly, quote, explaining his team will ruin his reputation. And look, sorry to be a broken record.
This guy says dumping a lot, too. Will ruin his reputation dumping tokens in this matter. Yeah, well, Jimmy doesn't care. He made a bunch of money, and he's not going to get in trouble for it. Who is going to get more credibility? MrBeast or some random crypto dude? I believe MrBeast. I love MrBeast. He cures people of blindness. Duh.
But yes, I reached out to Jimmy about this too. And once again, there was no reply besides the statement we read earlier. It's worth mentioning that I asked Oliver for proof of this message about ruining relationships, and he said the message had been deleted on Telegram. So who you believe here is up to you. Oliver also says, quote, I don't think Jimmy has a bad heart or is a bad person. I think he has genuine...
I don't think he is either, but he really loves money, and money corrupts. Again, I don't believe that Jimmy, like, because Jimmy came from, like, actually, like, normal money, right? But what happens with people and money is that it actually makes you so greedy and corrupt. You really have to keep yourself in check. Yeah, he's Mr. Krabs. I love the money.
An interest in the crypto space, but I think the team that handles his crypto is completely clueless. And here, on this last point, I have to disagree with Oliver. I don't think that Jimmy's crypto team is clueless. I think they saw an opportunity to make...
How are they clueless if they made a bunch of money? Repeatedly. It wasn't like an accident. Like, you know, like, oh shit, we accidentally dumped a bunch of crypto. We made $10 million. Whoopsie-daisy. Like, that did not happen. This happened repeatedly. The guy's clueless, if anything. The what is it? The CEO of the random crypto coin? Yeah, he's kind of clueless.
Millions of dollars with MrBeast's valuable brand, and they took it, and they did make millions of dollars. And along the way, they did some things that were shady. Whether or not you think they were also illegal is probably going to be shaped by our unanswered questions and where you fill in those gaps. For example, do you think MrBeast knew about the selling that was going on May 12th for the super token? Why did he make that tweet? And then, do you think MrBeast knew about the charity auction and the selling that was happening on November 30th? And do you think Oliver Bell DM'd MrBeast and told him his crypto team would ruin his reputation? And if so, was that ignored? I hate to leave so many unanswered questions here, but I warned you, this was a complicated story. And a big part of the problem is the guy at the center of this story cannot or will not give more than a heavily lawyered statement through a spokesman who's a crisis management consultant. And let me just say...
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, he hired the best people. It's very smart of him to do that. As much as you don't like Jimmy, I understand.
Also frustrating that this statement takes zero accountability. Despite the fact MrBeast's team knew every major allegation that we're laying out here today, there is no mention of selling while MrBeast was tweeting about Super Token. There's no mention of them selling tokens a month after they partnered with a 2-month charity auction. And because of that, this statement feels very hollow. I think to MrBeast and probably to his fund.
And again, there's no law saying you can't pump and dump. It just looks really bad. And then this is why I hate that, like, the government is so fucking behind on laws and regulations for, like, cryptocurrencies, is that Logan Paul and Jake Paul have made so many pump and dump, like, cryptos, NFTs, blah, 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 whatever you want to call it. They've done it, like, at least, like, 3 or 4 times that I know of, and nobody gives a fuck. Nothing's happened to them. They didn't go to jail. They didn't have to pay a bunch of fines to the government or the IRS. No one cares, because legally, there's nothing, like, you can't even do anything. Not that I know of.
Maybe this is just business, you know? They set out to make a lot of money, and they made a lot of money. What's the problem, right? This is America. They might think this is the biggest MrBeast nothing burger since MrBeast Burger. But look, honestly, I'd agree with them if they had done this crypto stuff without using MrBeast's name. But they want to have their cake and eat it too. This fund trades on MrBeast's name, as we've seen. They get in pre-sales based on his name. He tweets from his public account, and they're putting his name publicly on projects' websites instead of a fund. But when things go south, suddenly, oh, MrBeast, what? No, no liability, just because he's not sitting there physically pressing the buttons.
You can't even prove that either. That would be extremely difficult to prove that he was the one sitting at the computer, because he started being an entity of, like, a company like 3 or 4 years ago. How would you ever prove that it was MrBeast tweeting that shit? You can't really.
I don't think that's the way it works. Look, I want to close with the final part of this CryptoPunks podcast we showed you earlier, because in many ways, I think it's a microcosm of this story. Obviously, I have to say, I'm not making any comments or judgments about the guy who's suing me, who's all...
Because you can't!
So in this clip, that's just coincidence,
I'll say it for you, Mr. Zilla. He's a dick bag. Eat dicks.
Only talking about MrBeast's reaction. Because as MrBeast is talking about Gary V's great CryptoPunks call, there's a moment when the co-host says, hey, maybe instead of Gary V being a genius, maybe it's just the call itself that makes the market. And MrBeast kind of defends it. He says, no, that was in February. You know, CryptoPunks didn't pop until the summer. And, you know, I never talked about CryptoPunks until this very moment. Yeah, but...
Jimmy, you little slime ball. Of course. Yeah, I never talked about it publicly. I see what's up.
That last part isn't quite true. The reason we're all here is MrBeast tweeted about CryptoPunks the same day he bought them back in February of 2021. That's how we found his wallet, even though we now know someone else was involved too. And I would apply the same level of scrutiny to many of the investments we've talked about. Was it the genius of Jason Williams, MrBeast, or this fund that made them tens of millions of dollars? Maybe. Or was it the fact that the name they brought to the table was MrBeast, one of the most influential and valuable brands in the world? And
well, it is literally a sponsorship in a way. That's what happens. That's why sponsorships, you have to, like, kind of semi take it seriously. Like BetterHelp, for example. That BetterHelp has a horrible reputation, but people still take sponsorship. But then that affects them, like in their videos when people say, oh, I got BetterHelp and there's an ad. For example, Good Mythical Morning, I think, has a contract where they have to keep bringing up BetterHelp, even though they probably are well aware of all the bad things that has happened in the past, like, you know, year or two that came out that BetterHelp was dog shit, and they still have to keep doing sponsorships. They're probably under contract. We don't know, but still, like, you can't really do anything about that. That's why sponsorship is such a big deal. You get a lot of money, but it also affects your brand. Wouldn't affect me. I have great morals and wouldn't sacrifice them for money for a pound of cheese, though. I am yours to command. And that's what I'm saying. With enough money, people will they will gas up your fucking product like no tomorrow. And that's what happens when greed gets to your head. You're just like, oh, I need more money. I need more money. I don't want $10 million. I want fucking $100 million.
That's what got them the great deals. That's what got them a bunch of eyeballs. That's what made it so valuable to have his name on these websites. And maybe that's what made the market. Ultimately,
for sure.
I think it's for you to decide.
Yay! I love Coffeezilla. He's super wholesome. He's getting sued by Jake Paul, by the way. Or Logan Paul, sorry. Whichever one. Both dickheads. They both look so similar. Oh my god. Yeah, he's getting unironically sued. It's horrible. Poor Mr. Coffeezilla. Both scammers. Yeah, they're both dickheads, scammers, whatever you want to call them. Being sued by Logan Paul's a mark of character. Yeah, but he's bleeding his nuts dry, essentially, and, like, costing him hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's quite terrible. Don't sue me, Logan Paul. I'm a 2D character. Please don't do it. Yeah, and no anti-slap laws. That's also another really big factor. You're right. He's doing it specifically to fuck him, even if he doesn't win, which is really bad. Really, really bad.